Okay, Shalom. Call halal Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and salutations to the brethren on the four corners of the earth, pushing the word in truth and sincerity. Today's lesson I just wanted to go through a little topic that I was thinking about. I was thinking about the topic of faith and how great men throughout the scriptures and even in our lifetime have exhibited great, tremendous amounts of faith. In their in the worst of situations, man. And coming to the point, or coming to the head of being in the end times and being in the time of Jacob's trouble, because all that's coming to a city near you, man. We're gonna need faith a lot more. Faith is the thing that's going to deliver us. Faith is the thing that's going to keep us grounded and keep us sane in these times to come. Like scriptures say, knowledge will be stability at that times, but knowledge of what? Knowledge of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. And with that knowledge comes the faith, And I just wanted to go through, Lord willing, I'm going to make this a series. It's going to be called By Faith. Just bringing various examples of great men in the scriptures and, exhibiting faith, when it counted the most. As a faith builder, for brothers, myself. But the topic of this video is going to be the apostles of Great Millstone, because they've exhibited faith, when it seemed like all was lost for them, when they split from One West, and then they became, the House of David, and then they split from the House of David. And this is really what I want to touch on, is when they split from the House of David, they kept teaching, man, even through the whole 9/11 fiasco, first of all, through the whole Y2K, the year 2000 ordeal, and that didn't happen. They still kept teaching, they still kept their faith and they kept teaching, through the whole 9/11 fiasco, where the elders and the apostles, they got locked up, and were tried for treason. They never lost their faith, and even after that happened, they kept teaching, and for the last 6 years after that, it seemed like that no fruit was was coming in, that it almost seemed like what they were doing was in vain, and I know they had those thoughts, and it was hard for them, but the minute the Lord gave them the avenue through the internet, that's when the truth started really blowing up. But the point is, through those 10 years, from those different mini splits, man, they beginning with Apostle Hart, man, they never lost their faith. They kept doing what the Lord commanded them to do, was to teach. Was to teach, no matter what. Teach. The fruit was gonna come, and they kept that faith, man. So without further ado, this is Hebrews chapter 11, verse 1. It says, "Now faith is the substance of things hoped for." Like I said, man, the apostles, they were hoping for fruit to come into this thing, man, so we can be delivered, So other brothers, can have the faith that we can be delivered out of this hell, man. The evidence of things not seen, right? They weren't seeing anything at the time, man. They weren't seeing the prophecies that were coming to pass. It was happening very slow, Next to nothing was happening, Nobody was taking hold of the truth. They were the only ones out there, But it says faith is the evidence of things not seen, man. For by it the elders obtained a good report, And the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, man, they do have a good report. You can't say nothing bad about the apostles, man. No matter how much you try, no matter how hard, you try to discredit them, you can't, because they're the only ones that have been out here teaching week in and week out, haven't missed a week, putting up studio shows and street teachings and individual shows, man, and they keep feeding the flock, man. You can't say nothing bad about them. They're the only ones out here teaching. You could try and spread, they can try and spread their hearsay and their lies and their rumors and everything, but everyone knows that Great Millstone never stopped. They never stopped, man. That's how they really care about the nation of Israel, man. They really care about the fruit, man. They care about the flock, So they've obtained a good report, man. Not just with men, not with just their fruit, but with random people, that's been seeing them teach in the same spot for decades, you know. And they've obtained a good report with Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, man. That's why all the mysteries are revealed to them. That's why they are now the heads of Israel right now, man. You know. That's why they have spiritual enlightenment, because the Lord has given it to them through their show of faith, man. Through all the bullshit, getting locked up, being persecuted at One West, being persecuted again, you know, at the house of David, you know, being persecuted through 6 years of grueling teaching, and it seems like all was lost, man. And now the fruit, you know, has been the truth has been declared with fruit now, you know, and they're still getting persecuted, man, you know, along with the fruit. But because of their faith, they keep going, man, you know, just like. And I wanted to bring this out as an example of the example of Elijah, you know, when he thought he was the only prophet left, because when you're going through things like that, man, you know, there's certain times you think, you know, there's no one else that's gonna come, you know. There's no one else that's gonna come into the truth, you know. And you know, for example, you know, us, you know, at Greatmillstone, Wisconsin, you know, we were the only ones in hell, the whole Wisconsin, you know, that actually picked up the truth and ran with it, you know. Nobody was really coming in our town, you know. And we were moving around from town to town, and it seemed like nobody was, you know, was listening, you know. And we didn't have access to other camps. We didn't have access to the apostles at the time, you know. And it seemed like, man, we're doing this by ourselves, you know. But the Lord reassured us, no, I have other men that are doing this work, man, you know. And through the internet and the video, we start seeing that, oh shit, you know, there's other brothers out there, and they teaching, man, you know. I can just imagine how the apostles felt when camps started popping up all over the place, man. And like, oh shit, it's really happening, you know. So I just wanted to read this example, man, just to put that reinsurance. This is 1 Kings chapter 19. I'm going to start at 17. It says, "And it shall come to pass that him that escapeth the sword of Hazael shall Jehu slay, and that escapeth from the sword of Jehu shall Elisha slay." And this is when Elisha was running from Jezebel, man, you know. And Jezebel was having the prophets. I call it the prophet purge, you know, named after the Jedi purge of Star Wars. But that's what I call it, because Jezebel, she was purging out all the prophets, man. She was killing them, you know. And there was a point where Elijah thought he was the only prophet left, you know. But the Lord said, verse 18, "Yet I have left me 7,000 in Israel, all the knees which have not bowed unto Baal, and every mouth which have not kissed him." You know? So basically what this is saying, I mean, you know, it could have been 7,000 exactly, or that 7, you know, 7 represents completion. So whatever it was a complete number. But Elijah thought he was the only one left, you know. And the Lord said, "No, I got more. There's more men that have not bowed to Baal, man. There are more men that haven't sold out yet, man. You know, there are more men that are in the truth, pushing the word with you, you know, pushing my agenda, you know, pushing my will, you know." And that's what the apostles and the elders remembered, man, throughout the decades, throughout the times, man. They remembered, no, there's 144,000 men that have to come into this truth, you know. There's 144,000 men that have to teach the correct doctrine. They have to be up teaching, man. It might not be happening now, but it's going to happen. And that's the mentality they kept, man. You know, and that's the mentality that we have to keep towards our salvation, you know. Hell, now you got the Israelite foreigners waking up, man, and it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful, man. You know, there was a time where I thought, you know, that was a long way off, man. I thought that wasn't going to happen anytime soon, because you didn't see anybody else waking up, you know. Then the London camp popped up. Then the Jamaica camp popped up, you know. Then the Trinidad and Tobago camp popped up. Then Switzerland. Now you got Ghana. You got a Taiwanese brother, man, you know. So the truth is getting out, man. Truth is fucking getting, the truth is already out, man, you know. And that just shows you the power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, you know. You could think a prophecy isn't happening, but the Lord can manifest right before your eyes, you know. And before you know it, damn, you know. But the point is, man, they kept going, man. They kept feeding the flock, man, because they knew that the 144,000 has to come sooner or later, man, you know. And I just wanted to read this example in John 21:15, dealing with Peter, you know. It says, "So when they had dined, Yahushua saith to Simon Peter, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me more than these? He saith unto him, Yea, Lord, thou knowest that I love thee." You know. So they showed that they, not only did they say they loved the Lord, man, they showed it by their acts of faith, man. He saith unto him, feed my lambs. He saith to him again the second time, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me? He saith unto him, yea, Lord, thou knowest that I love thee. He saith unto him, feed my sheep. He saith unto him the third time, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me? Peter that was grieved because he said unto him the third time, lovest thou me? And he said unto him, thou, Lord, Lord, thou knowest all things. Thou knowest that I love thee. Yahushua saith unto him, feed my sheep, you know. So they proved that their love for the Lord, man, by feeding the flock, you know, no matter what. And they're still feeding the flock to this day. Not taking no breaks, not taking no winters off, none of that, man, you know. They're feeding the flock, you know, like it's supposed to be fed, man. Hell, it's so much food, I can't even eat it all, you know. I actually have to stop before I vomit. You know how you eat too much and your belly gets full and you know, and it becomes so much for you that you can barely move, you know. And sooner or later you're on the verge of throwing it up, man. But sometimes I have to take it in small doses now. It's so much. They're cooking so much food, man. They're serving up so much food, you know. And it's beautiful, man, because the word never stops. And that's one thing that they understood, man. And that's one thing that us younger brothers have to learn too, man. The word never stops, no matter how hard it gets, man. You know, there's no biggest show of faith that we can see in this time bigger than the apostles of Greatmillstone, man. You know, because they've labored in this thing. They have labored, and now we're laboring, man. You know, laying back and off of their labors, man. This is John chapter 4, verse 38. I sent you to reap that whereon ye bestowed no labor. See, and I'm an example of that, man. The various camps around the world, man, we're examples of that. We were sent to reap, you know, upon things that we didn't labor in, you know. We're reaping the benefits of other men's labors. It says other men labored, right? The apostle Greatmillstone, man, they labored, man, you know. And ye are entered into their labors, right? So now we're coming into their labors, man. We're continuing the work that they laid down, and now we're laborers with them, you know. Now we've become joint heirs with the apostles, just like, you know, and then because of that, we've become joint heirs with Yahushua, man, and reaping the kingdom, man. So now we're laboring with them, man. We're in this fight with them, man. They don't have to fight by themselves no more, you know. We're all fighting together in this thing because we all want the same thing, which is salvation, you know. But in order for us to obtain that salvation, man, we have to take after them, and we have to do this with our whole being, man, with all our might, man. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 9, verse 10. Whatsoever thy hand findeth to do, do it with thy might. And that's what the apostles did, man. They took this truth and they blew it up, man. And they're pushing it with all their might, even to this day. Apostle Gabar is doing 4, 5, 6 shows a week, plus live streams. Apostle Rhyme Lob, same thing. Apostle R, same thing. Elder Natsai, Apostle Ricard, you know. Elder Ayathun, Elder Sakaran, Elder Tazayawan, Elder Ainap, Elder Ibad, you know. They're all doing the same thing, man. They're pushing the word with absolute diligence, man. You know, like their lives depend on it, because their lives do depend on it. And that's the way we're supposed to be pushing this word too, man. The way like our lives depend on it, you know, because our salvation is nearer than we believe, man. You know, like Apostle R said, man, push the word while it is daylight, man. You know, it says, for there is no work nor device, nor knowledge, nor wisdom in the grave whither thou goest. Right? You can't do the work when you're dead, man. You know, do it while you're alive. Do it. Make the most of your time now while you can. You know, that's what the apostles are doing, and they're doing it beautifully, man. And that's what we're supposed to be doing, following after their footsteps. No matter who tries to say that we shouldn't follow men, man. There's all types of examples out all in the scriptures, man, of men being followed and men being sought after, man. You know, showing you the right way. Somebody has to show you the right way, man. You know, hell, they're showing us the right way, man, because they have experience in this thing. They have something that we can never have. I mean, well, we can have at this point. Lord willing, we continue. We can have that experience too. But honestly, Lord willing, man, hopefully I don't get that experience. Hopefully we get the fuck out of here, you know, before before I get that old. Before any of you brothers get that old, man. You know? But the fact is, man, even the scriptures tell you. Sirach chapter 34, verse 10, man. He that hath no experience knoweth little, you know? And we have no experience in this thing, man. Not next to them. We don't know anything. You know? They're our teachers. You know? They have the experience, you know? But he that hath traveled is full of prudence, you know? Wisdom, caution, you know? When I traveled, I saw many things, and I understand more than I can express, you know? And they've traveled through this thing, man. They've traveled, you know, you got elders, they've traveled the world, man. They traveled the country, you know, but not just that. They've traveled in this truth, man. They're full of war stories, man, you know, of being, of their ordeals in the truth, man. I was oft times in danger of death, yet I was delivered because of these things. The spirit of those that fear the Lord shall live, for their hope is in him that saveth them, you know. Slakia, I had to pause for a second. But it says, the spirit of those that fear the Lord shall live, for their hope is in him that saveth them. You know, whoso feareth the Lord shall not fear, nor be afraid, for he is his hope. You know. So the Lord was the apostles of Great Millstone. The Lord was their hope, man, for something better, man. They hoped that the fruit, you know, would come along, and they hoped that the elect, you know, would be sealed, and they hoped that prophecies were going to come to pass, you know. And look, it's in full swing now, you know. It says, blessed is the soul of him that feareth the Lord, to whom doth he look, and who is his strength, you know. Which is strength is Yahweh Shemiah Shai, man, you know. And because of that, the Lord has not forsaken them, man, you know. The Lord has blessed them with uncanny wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, man, you know. And the Lord is blessing them for their fruit with uncanny wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, you know. And we're being purged, man. We're being purified, you know, right before our own eyes, you know. And this is all through the faith, man. This is all through our faith in Yahweh Shemiah Shai. So yes, we are faith-based Israelites, man, just like our ancestors were, you know. Just like our ancestors were, man. Abraham, Joshua, Noah, Elijah, you know, Joshua, Caleb, Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, all the prophets in the scriptures, man. We are faith-based Israelites, man, because the faith is what seals us for salvation, man. You know, not the commandments, but the faith in the name and the power of Yahweh Shemiah Shai. You know, this is my last scripture. This is 1 Maccabees chapter 2, verse 61. It says, and thus consider ye throughout all ages, that none that put their trust in him shall be overcome. You know, and through the elders trusting in the Lord, man, no one has overcame them, you know. Almost every camp has come up against them, the government's come up against them, and no one has yet to overcome them, man, you know, through the faith of Yahweh Shemiah Shai, man, through his power, you know, because they believe in him, you know. And I'm pretty sure you other brothers in the camps have had your ordeals with when it looked like it was at its worst and you were going to be overcame, but through the power of Yahweh Shemiah Shai, man, you were saved out of it, man, you know. And we can't be overcome, man, as long as we keep the faith, not with the doctrine, not physically, spiritually, mentally, none of that, man, you know. Since we believe in Yahweh Shemiah Shai, man, we have the power of Yahweh Shemiah Shai. And that's really all I wanted to say, you know, on the video, man. It was just something that crossed my mind just really quick. You know, in some ways, this is a kind of, you know, a tribute to the men, the great men, you know, that are pushing this truth, man, you know. It's respect, you know, and we should never forget that. So I want to give all praises to Yahweh Shemiah Shai, to the apostle elders of Great Millstone who rule well and are pushing this word through the faith of Yahweh Shemiah Shai. And salutations and peace, love, and blessings to all the brothers on the four corners of the earth pushing this word in the name, power, and faith of Yahweh Shemiah Shai. Shalom.